Warriors, welcome. My friends, today I want to speak about a very, very crucial component to healing anxiety. I'm talking about the component of patience. You know, during my anxiety disorder days, I wasn't very patient. I would try something and I'd give it up very, very quickly. I'd move on to the next thing. I would try that. It wouldn't work as well as I wanted it to, and I'd move on to the next thing. And I found myself in this cycle, constantly going from one skill set to the next piece of content, to the next kind of mindset, whatever it was, method, formula, and being more and more disappointed as the days went on. If we're going to heal, we need to make sure that we do this right. And if we're going to do this right, we have to emphasize the importance of patience on this journey, my friends. When I talk about patience, I'm talking about an acronym. And I'm going to present to you exactly what you need to pay attention to in order for you to be patient, but not forcefully. Naturally, because that's what this journey is. It's a very natural progression towards a new identity, a new you, because you can't become a new you until the old you dies off and everything that comes with that old identity. P stands for plan ahead. And when I'm talking about planning ahead, I'm talking about your morning intention. I'm talking about the skill sets that you're going to bring with you throughout the day. I'm talking about getting yourself prepared for any setbacks that may arise as you're going through the day. I need you, in order for us to be patient, to plan ahead and get yourself ready for the day. Because let me tell you something. The mindset of waking up and hoping that anxiety will not show up is the wrong mindset. Life is about good times and challenges. This is life. And I've gotten to a point in my life where I don't differentiate too much between the good and the bad. I know that it's all life. So what I need you to do is plan ahead before your day begins. A stands for allow external engagement. And what this means is give yourself permission through a deeper awareness. Give yourself permission and say, right now in this moment, I'm going to touch that piece of leaf. I'm going to listen to the birds. I'm going to look at a distance and focus on what I'm looking at. I need you to allow yourself to be externally engaged. And if you want to be internal for anything that you want to tweak. Any ideas that you want to redirect towards new ideas. That's fine. But when we are externally engaged, we are connected. We are connected to the earth. We are connected to other people. We are connecting to like energies that are going to bring us what we want, which is anxiety recovery. So A is allow external engagement. T is trust what you're doing. Just trust what you're doing, my friend. Because when you engage in a program or a formula, or you start working with someone, a therapist, coach, whatever it may be, it's almost like you're hoping that thing is going to heal you. And when you don't feel healed within a couple days, you get frustrated. The pressure builds, the tension builds, and more anxiety builds. So what we want to do is trust in what we're doing, right? Trust in whatever it is you're doing that's going to bring you to a place of deeper understanding. Because it's that deeper understanding that will give us the clarity, the insights, that will help us to see beyond what we're experiencing, which is anxiety. And it will also help us to redirect our attention to perceiving our past traumas differently. So trust in what you're doing. I is increase expressiveness. If anxiety is suppression, freedom is expression. So you want to make sure that as you're going through the day, you're going against what your survival instincts are telling you to do. You're going against what your ego is telling you what to do. Your ego says, oh, don't say the wrong thing, right? Just hide all your emotions. Oh, you had an idea. Don't share it with anybody, or else they may not agree with you. You may make a fool of yourself. You may make a mistake, just like you did back in the day. So what we do is we suppress everything, our words, our feelings, everything. But if we're going to create the amount of patience that we need to heal our anxiety long term, then we have to make sure that we are expressive. When I'm talking about expressive warrior, let's understand, though, I don't want you to be helpless. I don't want you to go out and start talking about your anxiety, because the more you talk about anxiety, the worse things get. You want to talk about your progress. You want to talk about what your future is going to look like. You want to talk about your wins. Okay, you want to talk about how things are improving in your life and how you're starting to re-perceive your past differently, these sorts of things. So be expressive, be a part of the conversation, and make sure that it fuels your transition rather than halts your transition. E is invest your energy wisely. Invest your energy wisely if we're going to, in fact, have the amount of patience we need to heal anxiety. You need to be aware of where you're expending a tremendous amount of energy, right? Which TV shows are getting you caught up, right? Which horror flicks, which energy vampires, which types of people, even which job is draining you. When you look at your life from the outside, I want you to recognize where you're expelling a tremendous amount of energy and begin to replace those things with better habits. And in order for you to replace those old habits with new habits, you have to feel deserving of healing, because a lot of people don't have the level of self-worth they need to heal themselves long term, so they unconsciously sabotage the journey once they're getting to a place that they consciously want to get to. Don't let this be you. Recognize where your energy is being spent. Recognize who or what is draining it, and please replace it. N comes down to understanding that this healing journey is never ending. It just doesn't end, right? You're not doing things right now and then in the near future going back to your old habits. This is what a lot of anxiety warriors tend to do. Instead, you want to see this journey as never ending. It just doesn't end. These new thought patterns are a lifestyle. These new beliefs are related to the authentic and divine you. This new identity isn't something that you're renting and you're just going to give it back to the world once something goes wrong. No. These are lifelong habits. And you need to understand that even though you were a child and you were barraged with a ton of beliefs about who you were and what you deserved and what you were capable of and everything like that, and you felt like you need to, suppress a lot of things, at this point in your life, we have to bring that playful, childlike side of you back, because you cannot heal from anxiety unless you become more playful. It's within the playfulness that brings you to a brainwave state where you can begin imagining a better outcome. If you're constantly on high beta all the time, survival, instinctual, then you're not giving yourself any space to think clearly. You're not giving yourself any space to experience what you're experiencing. And what tends to happen is you begin overthinking. And overthinking is the opposite of intuition and spontaneousness. And I need you to become more spontaneous. C comes down to compassion during sensitivity. You had a moment of sensitivity, warrior. You had a difficult moment. Yes, the symptom arose, or the symptom is lingering, or someone criticized you, something happened in the outside world. You had a moment there. I need you to be compassionate towards yourself and not blame yourself and guilt yourself into feeling the amount of pressure and tension that we don't need on this journey towards anxiety recovery. So when a moment of sensitivity arises, so does compassion. Because remember, there's two parts to you. There's the child mind, who is your subconscious mind, and there's the adult mind, which is the conscious mind, the rational you. And every time you become instinctual, every time that side of you shows up, what must also show up is compassion and understanding. So stop beating yourself up so much. E, finally, comes down to eliminating unnecessary inner pressures. We put so much pressure on ourselves these days, don't we? We really, really do. Pressures to please other people way before ourselves. Pressures to do things very, very quickly. Many times anxiety sufferers do things within a time frame that is quite quick compared to the allotted time frame. They actually have a lot of time. I remember when I was suffering from anxiety, I would get to work like 30 minutes early. Why? And then I would just sit in my car. Why? Well, I didn't want to displease people. I didn't want to get fired. I didn't want those things to happen. I didn't want to let clients down, yada, yada, yada. So you go over and beyond, and it's unnecessary. It really is. Pressures to take on more and more things in your life. No more unnecessary inner pressures. Because I want you to look at your life right now and ask yourself, really be honest with yourself. Am I creating more pressure? Or am I allowing myself to make a mistake here and there? Am I allowing myself to be more human? Am I allowing myself to heal? Or am I forcing my healing, hoping it'll show up just by doing one meditation or listen to one piece of content? We need to be honest with ourselves, and we need to go deep. Patience arises through deeper understanding. Deeper understanding arises through compassion. So starting today, I need you to understand this journey better and become more compassionate towards yourself. Why? Because you're here. You're listening to this video. You're a part of this tribe. You're doing everything you can, and I promise you the answers will show up in time. So don't force them. Allow them to happen naturally, just like everything in nature happens naturally. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Remember that you are more than anxiety. And if you have any other questions on the Inner Circle program, head on over to this website right here. Love you.